I want to discuss a second price, or what's sometimes known as a Vickrey auction. So, in a first price auction, the highest bidder wins and pays the amount bid, and we're used to this kind of auction. In fact, you may even have been to this kind of auction at your local school or at a library or someplace that may be trying to raise some funds. And if you watch TV, you see these auctions where people have the little paddles and there's an auctioneer and he's calling out the different prices, and somebody bids 100 and then somebody says they'll pay the 100, and then somebody says they'll pay 105, and the price keeps going up until nobody bids higher, and then the highest bid wins. Now in a second price or Vickrey auction, this is where the winning bidder pays the second highest price. And William Vickrey, in a 1961 Journal of Finance article, showed the benefits of this type of auction. Now, the paper is very mathematical, and in fact, this type of auction was used in the 1870s in stamp auctions. So he didn't actually discover it, he actually showed mathematically the benefits to it. What are the benefits? Well, the big benefit is it encourages bidders to bid their true value. So, consider a buyer who is willing to pay 100 for an item. If she bids 105, now when they do this type of second price auction, it needs to be a sealed bid. So, consider a buyer who's willing to pay $100 for an item. If she bids 105, she might win and pay a price higher than she values the item. On the other hand, if she bids 90, she might lose, and the winning price may be at or below the price she is willing to pay. So, she might bid 90, the winning bid might be 93, with the second highest bid being 92, in which case she would have won and at a price below what she valued it at. So basically there's no incentive to bid anything but what you actually value the item at. So again, it's done with sealed bidding, and let's take a look at this example. So Mary values an item at 100. If she purchases the item for 100, she doesn't earn a profit. She's getting exactly what she paid for. So in economic terms, we say zero economic profit. And in finance terms, we would say an NPV, or net present value, equal to zero. So what she might do is she might choose to bid below her true value of 100. In the case of the second price auction, bidders don't have that incentive to bid below their true valuation, which is known as bid shading. In this case, Mary has no incentive to game the system by bidding below 100. She bids 100. If she wins the bid at 100, she'll pay the second highest price, so she will extract some profits. She won't overpay for this. Let's consider an example. Aaron bids $85 for an item, Becky bids $90, Carl bids $95, and Dara bids $100. In a first price auction, Dara wins and pays $100. In a second price auction, Dara wins the auction but pays the second highest bid price of $95. So here are the benefits of second price auctions. Truthful bidding. So the main advantage is that bidders are incentivized to reveal their true valuation for the item, resulting in an efficient allocation of resources where the highest value bidder wins. Simplicity and strategy proof. Bidders do not need to strategize about how much less to bid compared to their actual valuation, simplifying the bidding process. And there's going to be reduced bidders' remorse. Since winning bidders pay the second highest price, they may feel less regret about overpaying compared to first price auctions where overbidding commonly occurs. This is sometimes known as the winner's curse. Do we actually use this? Well, in some ways we do. eBay does this. If you've bid on eBay, you can continually go on the site and keep bidding for an item, or you can set a maximum bid. And what the algorithm does is it keeps adjusting your bid upward until it reaches your maximum price. So for example, you might set a price of 500, but if the highest bid is 300, you would pay probably, let's say, $305, assuming $5 increments in the bidding. So you reveal your true value of 500, okay, or you set your bid at your true value of 500, but you actually wind up paying less than the 500. What are some of the disadvantages of second price auctions? There's complexity for non-standard bidders. While the auction mechanism is straightforward, if you're new to this, it might be confusing to you, this notion of bidding your true value. There's also a chance of collusion risks. So in certain scenarios, bidders might artificially manipulate the second highest bid in order to raise the price that the winner actually pays. So there are some downsides to this, but this is a kind of an interesting approach. And if you think about it, there are a lot of cases where there are sealed bids. The government auctions off broadband wavelengths, okay, so that companies like Verizon and AT&T can produce their 5G phone service, but they need this spectrum. And how do they do it? If they use a second price auction, each company would bid what their true budget or what their true valuation is, yet they don't necessarily have to pay that. So this is, while a complicated model, if you look at the mathematics of it, relatively simple to understand. So I hope you found this interesting, and thanks for watching.